Welcome back to Advance Wars 2 Reboot Camp. Last time, we created a land bridge between Blue Moon and Orange Star by beating Colin's first mission in the Blue Moon campaign. And now, yeah, we're gonna move out to tanks before Olaf's one. An assault by enemy medium tanks. Can you stop their charge? There are some silos in this map, but we're gonna be finally giving the enemy a taste of Grit's range powers. If you found it annoying fighting Grit in Advance Wars 1, this mission is going to be very cathartic. But okay, the intro dialogue of this mission actually holds a special place in my heart.
All right.
Most people are familiar with the second part of the intro dialogue, the one that plays on the actual map, but it's that intro in particular that I remember, but I'll go into the reasons why a bit later in this map when I have time.
Well, shoot.
You look at all them medium tanks and all them neo tanks too. Head to head, huh? Well, yeah, Grit's not good at head to head combat anyway.
Very perceptive, Commander Grit.
And even though we've beaten Yellow Comet already, we're still gonna have to deal with Adder, though this is the only time we fight him in Blue Moon. And this is sort of the first time you're meant to be fighting him.
Let's cut to the chase. What now?
And this is another thing that I missed due to not playing Advance Wars 1 as a kid, because he kind of has a point, given that Grit defected from Orange Star to Blue Moon. And even in that story, he didn't really seem too invested in what country he was fighting for.
Join me and Black Hole. Uh-huh. What?
Yeah, this is awesome. This really sums up Grit so well. Yeah, he's a little bit of a chaotic neutral type. He doesn't really care who he's fighting for or what territory belongs to who. But if you harm civilians, he will end you.
We'll grind you to dust!
And it just so happens that Advance Wars 2 is a game where you really don't want to get on Grit's bad side, because he got buffed significantly since Advance Wars 1. He still has minus 20 firepower on all of his direct combat units, but he no longer has weak infantry and mechs, and that alone is huge. It means that Grit's capture game is no longer weak, and he can still build up his economy quite well early in a match. But remember how in Advance Wars 1, Grit didn't have increased firepower on his indirect, only range? Well, now they also have plus 20 to firepower, as well as plus 1 range. These two differences have turned Grit from fairly average into an absolute terror, and one that a lot of people don't like fighting because Grit can very easily just turtle you off the map. Also, his powers are very interesting. So he still has Snipe Attack, but it only gives +1 to range in Advance Wars 2. Because now it's effectively been replaced by Super Snipe. Super Snipe gives +2 range. But here's the thing, just like Sensei, the original game didn't do a good job of making this clear. Grit gets the same firepower bonus out of both his normal and his superpower. The only reason to go for Super Snipe is if you really need the 1 extra range. And at double the cost of Snipe Attack, usually you just want to spam Snipe Attack all battle. +1 range is generally enough for most situations. Now, in some factory missions, Super Snipe will let you hit pipes from, like, halfway across the map with rockets, and that can be really good. So there is merit to Super Snipe, but in general, Snipe Attack is what you want to go with. Now, this map, this is very similar to a Mirror Darkly, but instead of instantly losing when they get to our HQ, we just need to kind of stop them before they simply kill us. There are 22 enemy units, and they're mostly medium tanks and regular tanks. And these mechs right here usually need to move towards the silos. These recons are gonna start heading down to try and get a little bit of scouting. Usually I feel like I don't need as much scouting in the north, but okay. Yeah, I think I will send an extra recon down here. The spaces that are very important on this map are ones like this, a forest surrounded by 3 mountains. A unit that is placed in a spot like this cannot be scouted and attacked in the same turn. So ideally, a unit will like go here, it'll be like, oh, I see you, but then it gets blown up, blown to smithereens by rockets before it has a chance to actually capitalize on that. So, in general, I kind of... Okay, I'm gonna have this recon go here first. There are a lot of roads on this map, so recons and rockets have pretty good movement, unlike a Mirror Darkly. This rocket I like to move in, yeah, a little closer. And before I retreat with my mechs, because I am going to retreat with them, I like to have them surrounded by mountains so that they can't get hit by, well, you know, by Neo-tanks and medium tanks. But I will probably move them forward again later, because there's a certain unit Ada has that I really want to make sure to scout before it's too late. Yeah, you can go all the way up to there, so the only way I can totally keep you safe is to go over here. His units are going to be on you pretty fast. Also, if you want, you can move that rocket up to here. Like, to be honest, it's not really going to change all that much as far as its effective range goes, and this way it'll be able to get resupplied with ammo. This rocket I like to keep there, though. You don't have any APCs, so the cities are your only way to restock. Now, he does go in with his recons first, which is admittedly kind of a cool idea, because, yeah, he can see everything across the mountain. Anything that is not on a forest, he can see with those recons. However, this being Reboot Camp, with the AI actually obeying the rules of Fog of War, it means that... there we go, I did manage to scout one of the things that I wanted to see. I'll talk about that later. Actually, I'll talk about 2 things later, because I now need to go into this. We're going to be getting a tutorial on silos here. That's because you can do this mission before Silo Scramble. Launch a single missile. For some reason, I always thought just the phrase single missile just sounded, I don't know, just sounded kind of weird.
Yeah.
Unfortunately, Grit does not have increased firepower with those. It would be funny if he did. Yeah, I remember this line from the original game. But, yeah, Grit, don't form a rivalry with them. They have infinite range. There's a little bit more of a tutorial to them in this map, because you're kind of expected to do it first. That's pretty great, but unfortunately I can't quite fire the missiles yet. But I need to remember that for later. But as I was saying, in Reboot Camp, you can shoot the recons to try and rob the enemy of vision, which is a tactic that didn't work in the original GBA version, because there, obviously, the AI could see everywhere in Fog of War, so it didn't even need vision. Couldn't see into woods and stuff, but that was the only grace you got. So yeah, here, if I take out all of these recons, then his medium tanks are going to be driving blind on the lower front. Just like a Mirror... Okay, I can't quite take out that recon, though. But just like a Mirror Darkly, on that, and for that reason I'm going to target the tank, because the tanks also have really good vision. Just like a Mirror Darkly, the target priority here is not to go for, like, medium tanks and Neo tanks first. Because if you see a mech... And by the way, I doesn't quite have Sidewinder yet. If you see a mech, you need to kill that mech fast. Because the mechs are the only thing that can... go over the mountains and attack your rockets. So, okay then. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. If I put the recon here, I still have vision to where the mech can move furthest to. And I have an artillery down there. I'm also going to get a second recon in there so I can see stuff. The recons aren't great in combat, but what they can do for you is that they can finish off units that are very, very weakened with chip damage. Not that Grit's amazing at that with his low firepower, but if he gets lucky, it can happen. Now, is he going to use side? Nope, he's not, okay. Yeah, see, that's the thing. He cannot scout and attack those units that have 3 mountains around them in the same turn. He's sending an awful lot of his units south this time, which is a little bit, this is not quite what I was hoping for. But I do have more indirects clustered around there. Aha! That mech ran right into range of my rockets and into my vision. That is exactly what I wanted. Because Grit's rockets can one-shot them when they're out on roads. And you'll need to be very, very careful of the mechs in particular, because Adder is about to get Sidewinder, and once he does get Sidewinder, yeah, assume that he can see your units that are over the mountains with his recons. So right now, I think I am actually going to do this. Couldn't see any mechs, that's unfortunate. I really want to be able to see more mechs. If I put this thing here, there's a chance it may be in danger. Oh, there's another mech, okay. Okay. That's good, because, in fact, it's a good thing I saw that mech, because if he got Sidewinder, then this mech would attack my rocket. So yeah, just like a Mirror Darkly, mechs are priority targets. Make sure you scout and destroy them with Extreme Prejudice. I don't know where that term came from, Extreme Prejudice. I don't even know what it entirely, like, refers to, really. But, okay then. That thing is done. He still doesn't have Sidewinder yet, which is good. Aha, and I can kill one of his tanks, which is going to put him even less towards Sidewinder than if I'd hit a medium tank or Neo tank. I mean, you don't really want him to Sidewinder a whole bunch of, like, medium tanks and Neo tanks right into you, but since I've killed a lot of his recons and his regular tanks, I don't want to hit that, because then he'll get Sidewinder. Oh, and I have access to the missiles now, so now we can... Say it with me. Yeah, I'll get more Neos this way. Fires a missile! Yeah, the missiles are actually a little bit lopsided towards the south, so I'd probably recommend sending more mechs down there, but you only really have 2 that you can afford to use. And unfortunately, I'm going to have to retreat these recons a little bit. He's going to be very much in my field of vision soon, so it doesn't really matter if they're a little bit further back. Just kind of hope that this mech doesn't die. This mech probably won't die, but the northern mech, there's a chance it will die. Don't even have snipe attack yet, but once I get that, it's pretty much all I need. That is something that I,
A battle with me.
Oh, no, he did go for Side Slit. Interesting. You know, I think the reason he did that is because he might be able to hit the mech that's in the northern mountain with some medium tanks. I love how his units just kind of hop back and, like, just, their idle animation speeds up when he uses this. Which kind of, which looks really funny on the Neo tank with their, like, little legs. Oh, boy, this thing could be dead. It might not be? Let's see. Come on, please survive. You took a hit from a 7 HP Neo tank and only got down to 5 HP, but you get less terrain defense from, yeah. Oh, he still has a recon left. Oh, I actually hit that recon with a missile without even realizing it. Yeah, when you have lower, oh, he still has 2 mechs left over. But, oh, so close. I'm gonna probably get Snipe Attack out of whatever this... Just about, like, I really... how close am I to Snipe Attack? Oh, I'm just barely off of Snipe Attack. I can... Probably killing this Recon will give me Snipe Attack. And yeah, I'd rather have the benefit of Snipe Attack on my rockets versus my artillery. Even though Grit artillery are really dangerous, on like a full-on deployment map with Grit, you want to be spamming artillery because they're a lot cheaper than rockets.
It's time to take you down. Snipe Attack.
I love Grit's version of the power activation theme, and it's even more amazing having it on my side for once. Also, I love Grit's power theme so much. This is just, I love this song. And yeah, I do think that this song is incredibly thematic, because it just really shows, like, Grit's normal theme is really laid back, and just very, very chill sounding. But then he gets this intense electric guitar mix when he uses his power, and as I said in the Advance Wars 1, when I was playing that, I feel like this really sums up Grit. You know what? I kind of feel like I should target the one that's furthest towards my territory. It kind of sums up Grit's playstyle in the first game, and also his personality. Because Grit is somebody who, and I'm going to do this to deny Envision, is somebody who seems really laid back, and yeah, he doesn't really put in, he's not really all that motivated, can kind of seem a little lazy sometimes, doesn't really care what territory belongs to who, but if you give him a reason to get mad, he will end you. And I love how that reflected in his playstyle in the first game. The fact that Grit was fairly weak day to day, his signature unit type didn't even have increased firepower, only range. But he made up for that by his power being absolutely ridiculous, but also very, very cheap. Especially for its cost. So like once he used it, he would get like a massive firepower bonus and +2 range. And then everything would just get wrecked. And just having this power theme really emphasizes that, like that aspect of his playstyle. Yeah, musically it's just perfect. But it is kind of part of why I'm not... So yeah, the thing with Grit and Black Hole Rising, and also because these things are run at the very edge of the map and on woods, and I'm covering all 3 of their adjacent tiles, I believe, yeah, he can't scout and attack these in the same turn, unless he tried to attack from that northern missile silo, which I don't think he can. But yeah, it's kind of why... Not only is Grit and Black Hole Rising really, really broken, you'll notice that Ada's very close to getting another side slip, so that's kind of why you're supposed to spam his... Oh, that's actually really bad. It's kind of caught up damaging his mechs, but I think it is very vital that you kill off the mechs. Probably do need some scouting here, though. But not only is Grit and Black Hole Rising very, very overpowered, but he also is strong all the time, and I feel like that kind of misses the point of his playstyle in the first game. In the first game, it was very much you had to hold out until you got your power, and once you did, then you would wreck everything. It was sort of like a Magikarp kind of deal. Grit was initially weak, but he could be very, very strong once provoked. But now Grit's just strong basically all the time. He still has 9 units left, so I don't want to get too complacent here. But I do know that, like, the vast majority of these units are towards the south part of the map now. See, the perfect speed limit for this map, I think, is only 8 turns, so you do have to be pretty careful and make sure that you try and kill off as much as you can while you can. Because otherwise, those things are going to run around and hide in woods, and you don't want that. That's a bad time for everyone. So, I'm gonna just slowly start scouting. I think he had something down here. Ah, there it is. Okay, it's only on 4 HP, though, so it's probably not going to kill the Recon. Did he have anything around here? I guess I'll have to... I mean, if worse comes to worse, that artillery can be bait, because it's fully covered on all sides by that rocket. Like, I'm not even sure if I really need to use this missile silo right now. I think I'm gonna wait and see if I can get some more units closer. Yeah, Grit's theme is just great. It is one of the best themes in Advance Wars, and they did such a great job remixing it. Yes, can't forget the painfully part. Is my artillery might actually be in range of that. But I do have a rocket in range. Oops, that's not good. I died. Yeah, that's unfortunate. Okay, right. Yeah, this is what I was saving a missile for, potentially, because there are quite a few things around here. Okay, I don't want to be throwing my things into the meat grinder, though. By things, I mean recons. Why am I calling them things? But okay, no, I better do this, because that still scouts something, but also, make sure that, the recon is in a woods and not on a road. I like to say a woods just because it's funny. He's probably getting Sidewinder next turn. But hopefully he'll have most of his things dead by the time Sidewinder goes off. This might not finish you. No, actually it will, because you were like 6.5. You know what? I actually wonder about this. He definitely has Sidewinder. How many units does he have left? He only has 4 units left, and I can already see 3 of them. I think one of them went in there. No, I think it went in there, but okay. Well, I guess I will go for this missile now. If there's something in that wood, it's going to get damaged by this. But, like, do I... I kind of feel like I probably should just use Snipe Attack now.
Don't get me all riled up. Snipe Attack.
I also love Grit's voice acting. Like, Grit's voice acting is great. And I think his voice... Oh, wait. Yeah, I think... Because I know that who Kyle McCleary voiced was, like, wrong in early voice actor predictions for this game. But I think Grit might be Kyle McCleary. And if he is, that's cool. Like, Kyle McCleary is a great VA. He plays the Gatekeeper, after all. Yeah, it was Grit and Drake's voice actors who they got mixed around, I think. And I'm pretty sure Drake is not Kyle McCleary. Yeah, he only has 2 things left, and I am at day 6, so as long as my scouting is good... yeah, unfortunately, Grit's units are not great at chipping things down like that. No, I did lose 2 units. I was kind of hoping that I didn't lose any. But pretty sure whatever his last unit is, it's hidden in a forest. So now I can talk about what I was saying at the start of this mission, while he uses power.
Delicious.
About, like, what I was saying regarding, like, why the dialogue at the start of this map has a special place in my heart. When I first played this, I was, like, about 12 years old, and, my dad, he never really fully got my gaming hobbies at the time. It wasn't one of those cases of, like, those parents who were like, oh, video games are the devil or anything like that. Like, I'm so lucky that I was not in one of those families at all. But even then... I always got this feeling that my dad didn't fully approve of my gaming hobby, and in particular, like, when I would often play Game Boy, or in this case, Game Boy Advance, while I was, like, around, like, him and, like, seeing some of his relatives. I think he always got the feeling that I was sort of rude or withdrawn sometimes. When I first played this mission, I showed the opening dialogue of this mission to my dad, because he happened to, like, be in the room at the time. And that whole bit with, like, you know, the chickens are still sleeping, with, like, Grit and Olaf at the start. And he actually laughed. To my knowledge, this may have been the first time he ever really, and it sounds a little pretentious, but acknowledged video games as, like, an art form. Or that video games could actually, you know, be funny and have humorous dialogue, have well-written dialogue. It was really the first time I'd experienced that kind of reaction out of him. And I don't know, that was kind of a special moment to me.
Well, alright.
And of course, it was just an everyday Tuesday for him. Typical Grit. All typical Grit just suddenly delegates Colin to being in charge of this. But, you know, Colin's already more than proved himself, it's fine.
My weapons ain't just for show.
Yeah, I remember that in the original, Grit said, "This ain't for show," because in the original, his artwork carried a revolver. But I sort of prefer it referring to his artillery and rockets rather than him carrying a physical weapon. And then for Sammy, it does kind of make sense that she holds one, and then someone else will be seeing later, but for Grit, I think Grit is fine. But yeah, I've actually hit the coin cap, so I need to go on a spending spree in Hachi's shop, because otherwise I won't be getting anything more. But that is Grit's first mission as a fully playable character, unless you got him in the final battle in the first game. And I will see you next time for probably the darkest story moment in an otherwise cartoonish game, and one that completely went over my head as a kid. And also Olaf's first playable appearance. And he's learned some new tricks. See you all then.